The mixtape all this week has featured Matt Porter, our very own gadget guy from Matt Porter Web Design. We've been chewing the cud about technology all this week and the fascination with gadgetry and life in the future. Is there one thing, Matt, we talked yesterday about where technology may have gone down the wrong route. Is there one area where you think it might be behind and needs to pick up the pace a bit? Is there a strand of life that technology has yet to improve?
I've got very poor eyesight. I have to wear very thick glasses for years, and I now wear contact lenses. And therefore, when I use things like virtual reality headsets, when I play with them, unless I've got my contact lenses in, I can't use them because I've got a pair of glasses that get in the way and all of this sort of stuff. And it seems like a first world problem. Yeah. I think that there's just been developments made in putting displays on, building displays into contact lenses.
Right.
And when that finally becomes mainstream, that will just be amazing. I mean, I wear contact lenses now anyway, so I'm used to putting them in my eyes.
It is odd, isn't it? Wearing glasses does seem very Victorian almost, and way beyond that, we're still doing it. Surely that can be... I'm not... All right, you could have a Cortina Mark III air filter over your face like they have in Star Trek. But apart from that,
I think that that would be superb. I think that, I would just absolutely love the fact that I could shut my eyes and watch a film.
It feels like it's a natural extension to the smartphone.
I mean, I had a virtual reality headset on,
like a head-up display. Almost.
I actually had a headset on a couple of years ago, and I was looking for stuff that supported it, so you could turn your head around, and it would move accordingly. And I was watching these things, and YouTube supports it. If you say you've got a headset on, it will show you stuff, so you can it will move things around. And I remember sitting there, and suddenly it was someone doing yoga, and I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know where to put myself, because suddenly I'm looking I'm looking at this woman in some strange yoga position, and I couldn't cover my eyes because they were covered by
because they got the thing.
So,
my goodness.
But certainly, if it's done well, it's fantastic. And so contact lenses with built-in displays would be
That's
superb.
What we want. That's the future right there. All right. We'll wrap up with a set of questions which we may have borrowed from a certain TV show. We don't need to go into that. So, Matt Porter, your all-time favourite word?
Oh,
difficult, We never tell guests about these questions.
Sarcasm.
Sarcasm. Okay. Your least favourite word?
Or least favourite phrase is this one.
Really?
Everybody seems to be putting pictures on social media and saying, had a lovely afternoon with this one.
Oh, with this one? Yeah, people refer to people as this one.
This one, that gets on my
I like that, what would you say was your best quality?
I'm very caring. Very caring
person.
Good
for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. And your worst quality?
I don't pick up some social cues when it's time to stop or go or leave. So
really?
So if I'm around someone's house,
you'll just keep keep
I
chatting.
don't get that social cue that it's
brilliant.
Now they're standing there in their pyjamas with all the lights out, and I'm
still there.
Talking.
Brilliant, like that. Trek or Wars? Careful how you answer.
Well, I would say, isn't it? It's so divisive because they're so entirely different.
They are entirely different
because, in fairness, Trek is a utopian.
Trek is a nice place.
Yes, a utopian, clean air, pleasant, plenty of space.
Wars is a bit more hot.
That's why Star Wars is all kind of quite
so you're saying
dirty and used. So it's difficult to say. Really,
just say Trek.
I'll say Trek at the moment because there's because Picard's just come on.
Absolutely,
and it's nice to see it
Picard
back.
on Amazon. You're right. A sound or noise that you love?
Trains passing in the night in the distance.
That's a great noise.
Oh my God, that's just
I always love the reference in Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. Trains in the distance softened almost into melody by the distance. That's a lovely phrase.
I used to hear the trains at night when I was young, and I think I did actually look it up, and apparently it is a thing. Most people find the sound of trains passing in the quite comforting.
It is a thing. I'm not surprised. A sound or noise that you hate? That dong that Windows used to make. Chung, when something went wrong.
Yeah, the blue screen of death.
The blue screen of death, yeah.
Yeah.
And if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates? We need a website.
No, God. No, that'd be the worst thing.
Imagine that.
Oh, glad you're here. My computer's got a problem. Yeah. No, I think I'd just say you've done a great job.
You are a caring guy. Welcome.
You've done a great job.
There you go. Brilliant. Yeah. Matt Porter, great to catch up with you. We'll no doubt again be on the show with us talking technology as the weeks go by of Matt Porter Web Design. Final song is an absolute stonker. It's Frankie Goes to Hollywood and Two Tribes. For what reason, Matt?
When Frankie Goes to Hollywood appeared was in 1984, 83, 84. That time was quite a frightening time.
Scary time.
For people. We scary now because it's all to do with the doomsday clock and we're closer than ever now.
I know we are,
but back then there was a real...
it seemed like it could happen
nuclear armament was on the increase.
Yeah.
We were broken down relationships between the Soviet Union and the United States. Reagan had just come in and he was quite boisterous at the time.
Yeah.
And it was a scary time. It really felt, I think there were a few movies came out, Threads the day after. They were all kind of nuclear war movies, which were quite frightening.
They were terrifying.
And real. Threads was very, very scary because it was so much more real.
Yeah.
So there was this feeling of impending doom that we really didn't have much time.
And this sums it up,
this record summed it up.
Absolutely captures the
and there's some great
zeitgeist.
lyrics in it. It was a tough time around that time for me. We had a bereavement. My sister had died a year or so before, and it was pretty tough going. And you kind of become involved listening to particular music and really enjoying it. So it was kind of a bit of escapism listening to this band. So it was, and this track, it was one of the first ones to be sort of heavily remixed and different versions.
That's
came
right.
out.
About 4 different 12-inch
Annihilation, Carnage, Hibakusha on cassette and things like that. It was a fantastic track. 9 weeks at number 1. And I actually speak to a couple of the members of the band as well now.
Do you?
Yeah. Holly Johnson, not so much now.
Yeah.
I used to have a bit of communication with him on Facebook. Brian Nash, the guitarist.
Yeah.
He's a real nice guy.
Right.
Had a few conversations with him as well. Was going to go for a beer with him at some point, but it never happened.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a real, interesting.
And Mark O'Toole, he was another one, wasn't he?
Mark O'Toole was the bass player.
Yeah.
He lives in America.
Right.
He's kind of quite out of the public eye now. Doesn't really have much to do with anything.
Yeah.
Social media. Paul Rutherford was the backing singer. He lives in New Zealand.
Yes.
And Peter Gill was the drummer who lives in London, I think. I'm friends with him on Facebook, but he doesn't do very much. His son's quite an avid surfer. So,
there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
But back in the day, they all got together
is
with
that-
the help of Trevor Horn, of course,
Trevor Horn,
who did a remarkable job.
Yeah,
with this.
I went to his house actually.
No!
Yes, I went to his house.
Oh, don't.
For a Christmas party.
Yeah.
27 years ago. Yeah. So one of my friends, her uncle, worked for Stiff Records.
Right.
And Stiff was bought by ZTT, who Trevor Horn owned with Jill Sinclair.
Yeah.
They were invited to his Christmas party, which was a place called Hookend Manor in Oxfordshire,
right,
which was owned by Dave Gilmore. He just bought it from Dave Gilmore.
You hang about with all the big guys, don't you?
And they said, "We know you're a great fan. Will you drive us?" My friends and her family said, "You drive us, and you can come along." So I did. I drove.
Wow.
Them. And there was Wendy and Lisa were there from Prince and the Revolution.
Yeah.
And Lisa Coleman has got a twin, so she was there as well. So there were sort of 2 Lisas and one Wendy.
2 Lisas, yeah.
Then there was Lol Cream.
Because they're big mates, aren't they?
Yeah,
Lol and
they
Trevor
are now,
Horn
yeah.
are big mates.
Stephen Howe from Yes was there. There was a few other people as well. Seal was meant to be there, but he didn't come.
Yeah. Same record label, of course.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was at the time. It was a bit of fun.
Wow, what a night that was.
Day. Yeah,
whole
day
there you
thing.
go, yeah. Well,
playing table tennis in the recording studio and playing pool and snooker and stuff like that. There you go. Yeah,
there you go. Final song from Frankie Goes to Hollywood, with the genius of Trevor Horn behind it and Matt Porter on the mixtape. Great to speak to you, Matt. We'll speak soon.
Thank you.